more for you. Now, I'm going to give you a chance. You got your listening ears on now, right? You're ready? Okay. You are the pilot of an airliner flying between New York and Chicago. The pilot is 2 years younger than the co-pilot. Be careful. The co-pilot's spouse is 2 years younger than the pilot's spouse. The interior of the plane is blue and the seats are red. Show of hands who can tell me how tall is the pilot. I saw this hand first. 5'3". How did you come to that? Exactly. Congratulations. You said 5'3" because she's 5'3". I opened with you are the pilot. But see, this is what we do when we communicate. We don't hear everything, do we? We think we do. We assume we do, but we don't hear everything. So listening is good, and that's the critical way to communicate effectively. But in order to listen, you have to hear. H-E-A-R. So I'm going to give you those acronyms to remember. To listen effectively, H is to hone your focus. All right? Everybody got that? H is hone your focus. You want to get rid of distractions. No noise, no cell phones. Don't you hate it when you're talking to someone and they're looking all around, or they're looking down, or they're checking their phone, or they're checking their pocket? Isn't that annoying? Are they listening to you? No. Do you do that? Yeah. Don't do that. That's rude. So hone your focus to listen. Now, the E is express understanding. You want to let them know that you understand what they're saying, right? And just like you want to be understood when you're speaking, correct? Absolutely. So express understanding. How do you do that? You do that with gestures. Nodding. I understand. Yes, I hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I got you. You do that. You say, mm-hmm, yes, I hear you. I got it. That is how you acknowledge, and that's how you take it in. Again, not distracted. You're listening. Face to face, paying attention to the person. Now is the A, is attentive. You want to be attentive. Now this is more body language. We'll talk about body language shortly. But being attentive just means leaning forward. Good eye contact. You guys are definitely too young to remember the books of the 80s. And in the 80s, they told you to not lose focus. So you're going to see, you've probably seen a lot of adults do this. They go, never, ever blinking. And you think there's something wrong with that. They were taught wrong, that's all. Don't, give them a break. You can blink and still remain focused. Keep that in mind. But you want to be attentive, so lean forward. Don't slouch in your chair. Don't lean back. Don't look away. Be attentive. And that's your A. And R, you want to respond. When you respond, here's your opportunity to gain extra understanding. Because you might not totally understand what someone told you. I know I talk really fast a lot of the time, and I also listen quickly. So if the person speaking to me doesn't get to the point, they'll drop off. And I want to say, is that a comma or a period? Are you done, or is there more? I don't quite understand. So you want to ask the question, is there more? Be careful not to say, are you done? Because that can kind of come off a little rude. But you do want to ask, is that all? And repeat what they asked you to do. That way you show that you understand what they just asked. Because it's not always clear. We've all seen the people that say, well, what I need you to do is to go around the corner and go around that thing, and there's going to be a thing on the corner, and it's going to be purple. And if you see the purple thing, I want you to make a left. And after you make that left, go to the other purple thing, and then you're going to see this really tall wall. And then I want you to turn around and then go the other way. Aren't there signs? Isn't there a number? Is there an address or something that you can tell me? Everybody doesn't have those skills, so help them out a little bit. And ask the questions when things are not clear. Has everybody got that? So we're going to hear to listen well. So what's our H? respond. So you want to hear all of that. You want to hear all of that. So now that we're listening, let's talk. Communication. How many of you have heard of the 7% rule? None of you? Wow. No communication majors in here? The 7% rule basically says that only 7% of our verbiage is counted when we communicate. It's 55% body language, 38% voice tone and pitch, and 7% of our words. Now, that was true for a really long time. But now that we text a lot and email a lot, it's not so much true because there's very little face-to-face communication these days. We're mainly texting or we're emailing. But face-to-face, those numbers still hold true. And I will need a couple of volunteers, but I have a couple of things to tell you first. Voice tone and pitch is extremely important. I'm sure most of you have heard the phrase, it's not what you said, it's how you said it, right? Exactly. That gets ever more true as you get older. As you get into more relationships, as you get more jobs, as you get out there and start doing more and more and more, how you said it, what you said and how you said it is so true. Because how it lands on you really depends on where you are, which speaks to the texting and the email communication. Keep that in mind when you're sending a text or an email. Have you ever sent one and the person receiving it got all bent out of shape? And you don't know why? It's like, well, that's not what I meant. They don't know that. Because email communication and text communication does not express emotion, but our faces do. Right? But they can't see any of that on a text. What's that? Yeah. Those are so fake. They're like this. Real happiness, your eyes sprinkle. Emotions don't sprinkle in the eyes. There's no emotion there. Forget emojis. You want human contact. Keep that in mind. If I was to stand up here and just use this tone of voice for the next half an hour, would you want to listen to me? I'm thinking no. Yeah, I wouldn't want to listen to me either. If I came up here and I started off like this, would you want to listen to that person? That person is having a bad day. But that's what we see. You see them walking down the street, down the hall. They are communicating and don't even know it with their body. And that's why that is 55% of the communication. Your voice tone and pitch is 38, and what you actually say is only 7. So I need about 4 or 5 volunteers. Just now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going to demonstrate body language and tone. So I'm going to show you a card. It's going to have something on it. And I want you the audience, to guess what they are demonstrating. This is to show you how it works. Okay.
You got Jimmy.
For my volunteers, if you see a B in the corner, it is for your body. If you see an S, it is for you to speak it. Got it? All right. And go. Ding, 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 ding. Very good. That is distracting. Bravo. Oh, my candy's over there. Get extra candy. Thank you. Very good.